Luxury Egypt and the Nile Tour by Alice Phillips, American travel blogger. Day 1, arrival in Cairo, gateway to time itself. The air in Cairo felt ancient, like it carried whispers from centuries past. As soon as I landed, I was welcomed by a warm breeze and a smiling tour manager holding a sign with my name. Cue the excitement. He swiftly helped me with my visa and escorted me through the bustling airport to a sleek, air-conditioned car. The ride to the hotel felt like sliding into a dream I've been waiting to live since childhood. At check-in, the staff greeted me like family, offering mint tea as we went over the week's itinerary. I watched the golden city lights flicker outside my window that night, my heart already beating in sync with Egypt's rhythm. Summary of the day? That first breath of Cairo air, it smelled like promise and adventure. Day 2, Giza Pyramids and the Grand Egyptian Museum. Gem. Nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for standing face to face with the Great Pyramids of Giza. Their sheer scale was overwhelming. I stood in silence, humbled, as if time itself bowed before these wonders. My guide's stories made the ancient stones come alive, especially when we walked down to the Philae Temple and gazed into the eyes of the mysterious Sphinx. It felt like the guardian of secrets was watching me, testing my awe. Lunch was a burst of color and spice at a local restaurant, sizzling kebabs, creamy tahini, and that addictive Egyptian bread I already knew I'd miss back home. The Grand Egyptian Museum took things to another level. Seeing Tutankhamun's treasures gleaming in the new, sleek galleries left me awestruck. It wasn't just a museum, it was a conversation between eras. Summary of the day: I touched eternity today with my eyes, my feet, and my wide-open heart. Day 3. Flight to Luxor. Embarkation on the Nile cruise. Morning sunlight painted Cairo in soft gold as I left for the airport. A quick, comfortable flight later, I stepped into Luxor, the beating heart of ancient Egypt. I was greeted and whisked away to the elegant Nile cruise ship, my floating home for the next few days. The view from my cabin? The Nile itself, shimmering under a sapphire sky. After a delicious lunch on board, we explored Karnak Temple. Towering columns soared above me like a stone forest carved by gods. The sacred lake mirrored the sky as I wandered in a daze of wonder. Luxor Temple was gentler, but equally enchanting. Bathed in the amber glow of late afternoon, its courtyards whispered stories of pharaohs and rituals. By sunset, I was back on deck, sipping hibiscus tea as the river carried us forward. Summary of the day: Karnak's columns felt like the backbone of a civilization that never truly left. Day 4. Valley of the Kings. Hatshepsut's temple sailed to Edfu. After breakfast, we set off into the Theban hills. The Valley of the Kings took my breath away. Literally, the dry, echoing silence of the tombs felt reverent. I stepped inside one, with walls bursting in color, the hieroglyphs still alive centuries later. Goosebumps. Then we arrived at the temple of Queen Hatshepsut, dramatically rising from the cliffs. I could almost feel her spirit there, strong, commanding, unforgettable. Our guide called her the most successful female pharaoh, and looking at her temple, I had no doubt. Back on board, we began sailing toward Edfu. The river was peaceful, lazy, and hypnotic. That night, dinner under the stars was seasoned with laughter and the scent of cinnamon. Summary of the day: working through tombs was like being whispered secrets from the underworld. Day 5, temples of Edfu and Komombo. Sailed to Aswan. Waking up on the Nile is pure magic. After breakfast, we visited the Temple of Horus in Edfu. It's the best preserved temple in Egypt, and I could see why. The enormous falcon statues, intricate carvings, and symmetry took my breath away. I stood there imagining priests and processions, incense curling through the ancient halls. We sailed on to Kom-Ombo, a twin temple unlike anything I'd seen. One half dedicated to Sobek, the crocodile god. Yes, there were actual mummified crocodiles, and the other to Horus. The carvings felt more intimate here, like the gods themselves were eavesdropping. By sunset, we floated into Aswan, where palm trees swayed like dancers along the banks. Summary of the day: a crocodile temple. Egypt really knows how to surprise a girl. Day 6, Aswan. I ran my fingers along its jagged sides, marveling at how they carved these giants with such precision. But it was the Philae Temple that stole the show. Nestled on an island, it's one of the most romantic places I've ever seen. Devoted to Isis, goddess of love and magic, its columns and courtyards were like a serenade in stone. The soft rippling of water around the island made it feel almost sacred. Dinner back on the boat was bittersweet. I knew tomorrow we'd disembark. Summary of the day: Philae is a love letter carved in stone and cradled by the Nile. Day 7, fly Aswan to Cairo. After breakfast, I said goodbye to the cruise, my Nile companion. At Aswan Airport, I caught a short flight back to Cairo. Returning felt like coming full circle. The hotel greeted me like an old friend, and I spent the evening journaling in the lounge, gazing out over the flickering city lights, holding tightly to the week's memories. Summary of the day: returning to Cairo felt like finishing a novel that will live in my heart forever.